Hi Scorpio, and welcome to your August 2019 general read. I'm Jade with Yes Yes Yes. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're brand new, welcome. I do a lot of different readings, and I've been on hiatus for the last month because I also perform, so I had a show open and close, and it was great. But I was not able to get love readings out for every sign last month, so I apologize, and I'm a little late this month. But if you're still with me, thank you, and thanks so much for your feedback and your appreciation. All of your likes and your shares and your subscribes are amazing. I'm really happy with how the channel is growing, and I'm really grateful to be here in this community with you. So let me explain what's happening today. We go through the general, where I started with these cards at the beginning of the year. The link to that reading is in the box below, as well as any information about a personal read with me if you're interested. Please don't forget to hit that like button if it resonates or if you're feeling it. It helps the channel out so much, and I really appreciate it. So we'll get started here with the two cards, of course, for Scorpio. No other signs had two cards, but you did. Two cards for this whole year. You have completion and taming the wind. Now with this completion, I'm going to hold it up for you. There's a heart there in the center. I love that. This is a card of balance, going to begin a story, begin a road, a journey, and to end it. So this is an energy for you this year. You're going on a journey. It could be a love journey. It could be just making sure that your heart is protected this year, from the beginning to the end. And taming the wind, this card is rich in symbology, and I think there's a hummingbird there on the corner I talked about one month. But the wind is the sign of, it's air, so that means intellect, but also it's, overthinking or thinking in general, dreaming, and conversation, communication. You are really working this year on protecting yourself. There's a whole cycle here when it comes to communication and laying your boundaries clearly as you normally do, but for everyone else to know exactly where the beginning, the middle, and the end is for you, Scorpio. Now, specifically for specifically for August, we have the Six of Cups energy. This is energy of good times in the past, nostalgic feelings, happiness, joy, childhood memories. Now, what I will say is that I feel like we have to be careful here because it's being clarified by the mice, and the mice is a card of anxiety and nervousness. So there could be something about your childhood that's coming back that's making you nervous, or maybe you're thinking too much about past things, and that is kind of weighing on you, taking you down. It's eating you from the inside. Maybe it's just now time for you to address those issues from the past that have been eating away on the inside. So there's a couple different ways you can interpret that. So there's sweetness there, but we don't want to overindulge. So there's a couple of things just to consider. Okay, so this month I'm going to use the Klimt Tarot, and I'm going to do past, present, future. Everything has been pre-shuffled. And I'm doing this during Mercury retrograde, see? And so it's been interesting because I've got cards flying out before I ask. They've been flopping out in big chunks. And when I ask for them, or when I'm waiting for them, making space for them, they're holding back, like there's no direct communication. So I'm gonna ask the question and see what more comes out for you, Scorpio dear. For past energies for Scorpio, please. We're looking for past energies for Scorpio. Past energies for Scorpio, please. Okay, there's two. Take one more if it wants to join us, and we'll also talk about the three that popped out initially. Anything else want to join us? There we go. Okay. So these are the ones that wanted to show themselves after I asked for them, and these are the ones that wanted to show themselves before. So tell you what, first I'm going to talk about the ones that flopped. The floppy ones. We have the Emperor energy, Aries or Taurus, I guess Aries together. This is an all-powerful, maybe ego-driven personality. It's possible that this could be someone who has a lot of power and is misusing their power or overusing or really ego tripping, okay? So let's just see. We've got 5 of Wands in the reverse. So this could be a wanting to not fight with this kind of energy anymore, being done with the struggle, being done, and maybe this is the energy that you might have been taking on and just wanting to be done with that kind of energy. Now we've moved to 7 of Wands to make it, again, a clear boundary known. The 7 is also, I mean, it's still, you're still fighting, right? So see how there's a knife up against the creature there. So there's still a need to protect yourself, but I think that you're in a place of, this is beyond victory, and it's a place of looking back at how you've gotten there so far, right? Like you're reflecting upon all of the struggles that have happened thus far, all of the, not necessarily fighting, but the journeys, the physical journeys that have happened up until this point. This is, it's reflection, but it's also being clear with your boundaries, which is very Scorpio, I see. So the 3 that flopped out are saying, if there is an ego trip or someone who's been very harsh with words, not necessarily compassionate, or if this was the energy, there is an end to that struggle, even though the boundaries are still being kept, or the boundaries, the lines might have been drawn very specifically because of that person, because of that energy. And then when we ask the question of what is the past energies, because this could be overall, we'll see, we had the 9 of Cups come out in the upright, which is the wish card. It's having everything that you wanted, being able to reflect upon it. There's a little overindulgence there because he's a little overweight. Maybe he's been drinking too much. So just be aware that when you get everything that you want, then there's the desire on the other side to ask for more, right? Or to want more. So even if you get everything that you want, there's still going to be a wanting of more after that. And again, this could be in response to whatever this relationship was, where it was a struggle, or this beingness of being harsh, or ego tripping, or this, it could just be that you were once in a state of power, or someone who had power over you, that power shifts. That power dynamic has shifted, which might be what you were wishing for in the past. Judgment, this is Sagittarian energy. This is the destiny is calling card, right? So are you on your path? Is this exactly what you want? This is time to reflect. This is the universe kind of, standing you up to do a life review. Is this exactly what you wish for? Is it? Is this where you're at, where you've been? Is that what you wanted, to get away from this struggle, to be clear with your boundaries? Or are you you're keeping people out by being so clear with boundaries? So just be aware of that as well. Judgment is a rethinking, a reviewing, okay? Now let's see, we're talking about Knight of Chalices. This could be a water sign like yourself, or it could be your energy. So that would be Scorpio, Pisces, or what did I miss? Cancer, excuse me. And it could just mean not being in your power, not being able to move forward in your power because it was in the reverse. There's no presentation. There's no even a transformation quite yet. There's the desire to do so by that Knight being here, that, your power is wanting to move forward, but you're still in review, or you've been in review, even though you kind of got what you wished for, is what it seems. So we'll see. Where are we at in the present tense for Scorpio? Scorpio energy in the present tense, please. I'm feeling like, okay, we've got 3 already. I'm feeling that you thought, I'm feeling that you wanted space from someone, but now you're rethinking if that was really the right idea. You might have, again, put up so many boundaries that you've blocked yourself off from this person or people in general. And that happens, I get it. Okay, we had 5 of Swords come up. So this is an uncomfortable truce. She's still exposed, right? Even though those swords are there, she's completely exposed. So just because you feel like you're holding boundaries clear, you're protecting yourself, there's still an exposure that's happening. And what I mean by that is that, you know, Scorpio, you are brilliant at protecting yourself, but people know what you're doing, okay? So you may think that you're being wily, you know, I guess I should say, like you're doing things in the dark and nobody can see it happening, that, you know, you're holding your cards tight to your chest, and you might feel like everybody else is playing the game and knowing that, you know, you're in power, but the truth is that they see the game that you're playing. And I don't mean to call it a game if you're really in protection mode, but everyone else is noticing and seeing that you've removed yourself, seeing that you have protected yourself to a point where we're a Scorpio. We can't feel Scorpio. We don't know where Scorpio is. And that is the vulnerability, is that you it's like you've built a wall in front of yourself, but your backside is totally open. And so anyone can sneak in behind you. But also everybody knows that backside is still open, right? Because you gotta be free somewhere. So the advice here is to, if you let the walls down just a bit, then there's not going to be exposure anywhere, okay? And you don't even have to feel, hopefully that's transforming itself so that you don't feel like you have to protect yourself so much. If this was a situation where someone took advantage of you, I totally get that. This could be deep past too. This could be deep story. So keep that in mind as well. It may not be something that just happened. Now let's see what else we have. And Four of Wands. Okay, we're talking about a strong foundation, possibly a family situation, something that you've been building on for quite some time. So I like that this is in the middle of your reading. You're wanting to keep everything the status quo, right? You don't want things to crumble completely. I think that's beautiful, because it seems like you're the stronger, even though people know, or this other person knows what you're doing to maintain the status quo. I think that it's brilliant that you are able to see it, even though there's this bit of vulnerability. So it's looking like this is a relationship that's just in a rocky phase. There might have been some struggle in the past, and that even though you might have taken your time away from each other, you took a break. If this is a work relationship, it could have been that as well, where you took a break from your job or your boss or whatever, and now in the past you were kind of reviewing, is that truly the wish that you wanted? Because right now you're feeling vulnerable and a little exposed, even though you really want to maintain this strong foundation, this strong family, this strong connection. And now we've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is in the reverse. So I like that the card is here. With it being in the reverse, it's showing that it's stagnant, but you're just kind of hanging in this place of protecting yourself, but feeling vulnerable, wanting to maintain this strong foundation of family, of security, whatever that is, even if it's a project that you put your entire savings in, your entire creative juices in, you're trying to protect and save something. And that is holding you, that's holding all of your attention right now, holding anything, any energy from transforming this whole situation, because you're just holding yourself, right? You're building a wall and you're in holding position. I don't know if this makes sense, but this is how the cards are reading out this time for me. Okay, let's see what's coming up in the near future, and I'll get some clarification too. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of this. Scorpio, my darlings, you're so hard on yourselves. You're doing the deep work, but you don't, again, I feel like I say this to you, you don't have to do the deep work all the time. You can take a break, and that's okay, okay? So keep that in mind. But if this foundation, if this family is really, if it's up to you, you know, if you're the savior here, if you're the one who wants to put in all the work, then that's a lot of work just for you by yourself. And I would hope that there would be a balance that would happen. So I'm going to flip that. I want there to be a balance for you at the very least. Oh, good. 10 of Cups. So it looks like it's going to feel good here in the near future. There might be some celebration that happens. Everything might come together. I wonder if once we get past this place of letting the boundaries down a bit so that things can kind of start to shift, there's a good feeling that can come about in the near future. Now, let's look at this just from this overall too. We've got the Six of Cups energy. This is reviewing energy. We have the Judgment card, which is also reviewing energy. So if this is a relationship you have left and you're reviewing it, it looks like there's a change that occurs that can switch this wheel around so that it starts to turn the right way, so that things start to feel better in the near future, okay? We've got Knight of Wands, came out in the reverse. So if it's with a fire sign, so that would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and it's night, okay? So this is again another card of wanting to move, wanting action and passion, and wanting to do things swiftly and quickly. If it's in the reverse, it's telling us to go a little slower, okay? To not be so impetuous. And if it's with this type of person, your energy, again, is the one that's holding the cup, okay? You are the one who's holding space for this relationship, this business, this energetic or creative idea. You're the one who's holding space for it. The other person wants to go, 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 but I think that you're slowing the thing down because you really want to make sure that it's done right. If it's a redo, you want to make sure it's done right this time. Your choice, of course. Oh, we got the Lovers card. Again, that one came out in reverse. Now these two, I couldn't remember which way they need to come, so I'll read it both ways. Gemini energy, but also it's a balance and it's a choice, okay? So there is going to be a choice that you might want to be aware of, okay? And the choice may be between going forward with this person or saying no to this person. Just because it seems right now that their energy is still countering you. There might be very deep connections here because you have some deep energies here. You have the Judgment, you have the Six of Cups in the overall, you have the Lovers here. So keep in mind that if you're feeling like this is a deep connection, if you're feeling like this creative idea was really spot on and on your path and on your purpose, or if you're working with somebody who felt like a really great connection, it's true. It is, right? It's ringing those chords of memory that you have. But there's something that's just nervous about this energy. There's just something that's eating away at it that's not quite right. And I don't know if it's because they're not in their power or not mature enough to meet you in your power, or if the whole thing just needs to mature a little bit more. Finally, we have the Death card. This is your card, Scorpio. It also came out in that place. I couldn't remember if it was up or down. I'll read it both ways here, but this is transformation. This is also you not being in your power. So make sure to check yourself in the near future. And again, we've got two major arcana here in the near future, which is great. Check yourself to make sure that you are fully in your power and that your partner or this creative idea is fully in its power to move forward. Because I feel like it's possible that one person, again, is a little bit more mature than the other, probably because there's something that's not being said or addressed. And it's probably where for you, it puts you on guard. I think that you deeply know that there's something a little off, and that puts you on guard, so you pulled back. The other person knows that you're on guard. They see that you're vulnerable. Now the question is, what are you gonna do next, okay? Is everything gonna be happy and beautiful if you let your guard down, be a little bit open with this person, and even be open with what you're reading, right? What your intuition is saying, so that they know they too are being checked, okay? You see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta check them, maybe not so harshly, but let them know that you too, I'm gonna turn these, that you too need to be aware, or they too need to be aware that that how they are behaving, this Knight of Wands energy in the reverse, is seen and could throw everything off, okay? It could really be detrimental to this. If everybody wants to have the same end goal in mind, they've got to get in their right power as well and make it an even give and take, okay? Even a balanced relationship, business, whatever it is, okay? I want to get some clarification. I'm going to clarify this present situation. Is there anything else that we can clarify for Scorpio? Those were flops, but I'll probably end up taking them. There's our one, okay. So, oh, we got two. Okay, so I've got 5 of Cups. So not wanting to feel discouraged or complacent anymore, okay? I think you're just about over it. You're just about over having to be in the super protection mode. 8 of Cups in the reverse. Now, it's interesting that it's in the reverse because when it's in the upright, that's you have lots of choices. But it's also in a card of illusion. So I think that you're coming out of any kind of illusion. You're not gonna, I think that you're gonna get real clear on this is what you want, the strong foundation in work, in home, in relationship. This is what you want. You're gonna state it clearly to this person because you don't wanna have this complacent feeling anymore. You're done with that, and you're done with any kind of illusions or having multiple options of what to do, what to do, what to do. You wanna move things forward in a way that feels good, okay? Get in your power, get your person in their power. Here are the 2 flops. The Sun card in the reverse. Could be Leo energy, and then we also have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So again, we've got, I think this is, going back to this like egotistical-ish energy and the biting of the tongue. Again, we're in Mercury retrograde, so that means that words are not coming out clearly for anyone. And it's not quite the time to talk. It's coming, okay? I would say anytime after the 10th is a good time to confront any of these issues that you've been revising or revisiting in your mind, because if we're seeing someone who's misbehaving, who is taking care of self over the entire family, or is active, really more interested in how they themselves, their one person is evolving over the rest of the people involved. I think that's the problem, is like we just have some, false pride, some egoic energies that need to get checked. And right now you've responded, which is fine, taking care of yourself, pulled back. Now it's time to come back out and right these things. Get fully into your power and reveal the truth as you see it, the truth that you know, and you have a choice in the matter, right? So you still have, I'm filming this in the beginning of August, but you still have another week to decide what you want to do about this, if you get it, when it first comes out. So I feel like that's what's coming up for you, is the decision-making time. All right, Scorpio? Anything else for Scorpio's near future as a clarification, please? Clarifying Scorpio's near future. Any other cards? Got a lot of different types of cards coming out here. Any other cards for Scorpio? Okay, Ace of Swords. More truth, 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 truth. Cut through it. It's on you, Scorpio. Always it's on you, isn't it? It's not really fair. Okay, there's the flop. Okay. So weird. I don't mean to, it's weird when I say flop because I know that's like a poker term or something, but I just mean that the cards are flopping out. Okay, so we've got 9 of Wands and Ace of Swords, both in the reverse. I mixed these cards up. They're back and forth and up and down, so it's interesting that we've got some reversals here. Truth's wanting to come out, and it's, these are going to be battle wounds, right? You've been put through the ringer. I think that the more that you let yourself be known as someone who can handle these things, you don't have to, and I feel like this is, for the Scorpios who this resonates for, just, let me get this out, is that some Scorpios may pull back instead of lash out, right? Some may just be more introverted for whatever reason. So if you are introverting yourself, the power that you have is to state your truth and to demonstrate all that you have been through, all that you've been thinking about for this past month, right? While Mercury has been in retrograde. What have you been thinking about? What have you been dealing with, okay? It could be something that is written. You might need to state what your truth is in a written form, by text, by email, or your response to all of this could have been because of an email or a text you received. This is a challenge. It's going to be a slowly changing cycle, but there is challenge. There is the point at the top of the mountain. You'll get to see that, and then you'll be on the other side of it. So right now it feels like it's something that's really a tough, slow, delayed, really wanting to be in this good place, but everything's just kind of delayed and slow right now. Again, keep in mind, just another week, things will start to lighten once you press on through this and reveal what you've been responding to, receiving, and reviewing. All right, Scorpio, it's your power, it's your choice, always, always. I just feel like you're very much within, and you've got to come out and if this isn't this person, this partner, this, whatever, you've got to come back out and let everybody know what you've been going through, because your experience is valid and it has the potential to transform everyone. All right? Okay, Scorpio, that's all I've got for you today, but I hope to see you soon, and I'll send you all of my love.